Welcome to the Instagram stories for Friday, March 3rd. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. The biggest Instagram news of the day comes from Vice President of Public Affairs at Meta, Nick Clegg. He tweeted, "Since we started testing age verification tools on Instagram in the United States last year, 96% of teens who attempted to edit birthdays from under 18 to 18 plus were stopped from doing so. Today, we expand testing to even more countries." It includes a link to a post on about.facebook.com introducing new ways to verify age on Instagram. Before I get into explaining all of it, I think it's much better if I just let the team at Meta do that. So here's a quick explainer about the age verification that Instagram does and how it all works.
Understanding people's age online is challenging, but necessary to keep young people safe and to give them age-appropriate experiences. At Meta, we're partnering with Yoti, a company that specializes in privacy-preserving ways to verify your age online, to offer their technology as one option for people to choose from when we need help confirming their age. Here's how it works. Take a video selfie by following the instructions on screen. After you take a video selfie, we share an image from the selfie with Yoti. Their technology analyzes facial features from the image, and based off those features, it estimates your age. That estimate is then shared with us. After this, both Meta and Yoti delete the video selfie and the image. The technology does all of this without ever learning your identity and without recognizing you. To Yoti's technology, faces within the video selfies are not faces. They're just a pattern of pixels, and pixels are just numbers. The technology uses the patterns it recognizes in the numbers to estimate age. It cannot identify you or match you to previous photos or videos. To accurately estimate age, the technology is trained and tested with a diverse group of individuals from different age ranges, genders, and skin tones. Your selfie will only be used to estimate your age and nothing else. This technology is one part of our ongoing efforts to help keep young people safe and give them age-appropriate experiences.
The video is actually pretty cool as an explainer. It demonstrates in graphic form what you just heard the audio content of. It's pretty interesting the way it explains how your face is used for the pixels and all that. Definitely check it out. I'll link to it in the show notes. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about a new episode of my podcast where I interview people who know a lot more about Instagram than I do, so stick around. This episode is supported by Because I Love It, aka Billy. Billy is a social commerce platform that connects social media influencers with brands to sell online. Billy is performance-based, influencer-centric, and works across all social media platforms. Join Billy's 10,000 influencers today. Find out more at becauseIloveIt.com. That's becauseIloveIt.com. And we're back. The other thing I wanted to talk about today is the most recent episode of my podcast, The Instagram Stories, where I interviewed Sarah Friar, the author of No Filter, The Inside Story of Instagram. Great book, highly recommended, but here's a clip of the podcast.
Taking the decision-making process out of social media. It's not really social media anymore. It's like this bite-sized version of like Netflix recommendation. Like you're just getting fed stuff that could keep you attached to your phone. And that is what Instagram is trying to replicate. So all of the time you've spent over the last decade, whenever you joined Instagram, curating who you want to follow and thinking about who you're friends with and whether you should follow them and who's going to see your posts. That's all getting sort of turned upside down by Instagram's desire to be more like TikTok and show you content from anyone that it thinks you might be interested in. Now, there is a way out of this, but it's confusing. You can go and click to only look at content from people that you follow. But given that we just talked about how confusing it is to use all these new features, I don't think your average person knows that they even have that option. In fact, most people just say, I don't understand why I don't see my friends and family in Instagram anymore. Well, probably it's because they aren't posting as much because they don't think that those posts belong there anymore. So I think that it's a really big sea change for Instagram to try to become more like TikTok. And the number of minutes spent per day, one way to make that go up for longer is to make more of those minutes video minutes, because video takes longer for people to engage with than simple photos.
Okay, I'm not going to play the whole episode. You can check it out. I'll link to it directly in the show notes. That does it for today's episode. Thank you for listening. Be sure to come back on Monday for Mosseri Monday, where we talk about what the head of Instagram shared on his Ask Me Anything. Have a great weekend.
I'm not yet a member of the Instagram team, but my podcast covers many Instagram themes. But the name, image, logos are trademarks of Instagram and the LCC in the USA and every territory. Everything I publish independently. Until they let me run my team and start to pay my salary. Not sponsored or endorsed, no lies, no fallacy. I use their logo with permission, not malicious or callously. No trademark violation, filling all criteria. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Daniel Hill Media.